Chapter 34. Is there a more personal piece of clothing than someone's underwear? I don't think so. Dell wears all different styles. He has a great variety of colors and a shocking number of patterns. He is heavy on the cartoon characters and images of vegetables. It is truly disturbing that I now know this. This man is not just my counselor, he is also supposedly monitoring my schoolwork, although in 5 weeks that has never once come up. I can't believe we don't just leave his privates in the closet, but Patty is all about doing things the right way, even if that means getting involved in someone's obsessive-compulsive underwear disorder. It takes us 3 trips to haul the mountain down to the laundry room. After we get the first load started, Patty morphs into some kind of human tornado. Earlier, I realized she was just some kind of tropical storm. By the time Dell and Kwang Ha come up the stairs carrying the box of kitchen stuff, we have mopped the floor, which turns out to be shades of orange, not brown, cleaned the microwave and all of the counters, and filled 8 trash bags with more detritus. I know a lot about bacteria and germs, so this is all very challenging for me. Dell has barely finished bringing up the stuff from the garage when Patty hands him another list and shoves him back out the door. Kwang Ha stays with us. Everything in Dell's apartment looks gray. This is because someone put a canvas tarp over the skylight in the living room, probably to cut down on air conditioning costs or something. Now that tarp is coated in atmospheric dirt. Mold and mildew stains rim the edges where water must collect. So when you are in Dell's living room, no matter what the weather is outside, overhead it appears that a Category 5 hurricane has just descended. Patty has her hands on her hips and she's squinting up at the covered skylight. She says, "It's not right." The look on Patty's face isn't good. I stare up with her. It's like a giant dirty diaper is on the ceiling. She calls for Kwang Ha, who has just been given a large plastic garbage bag of wine and beer bottles found under the bathroom sink to take downstairs. Patty points skyward. "I want you to go up onto the roof and take off the tarp." In a month, I've never seen Kwang Ha happy, so his current scowl is just more of the same. He says, "You just told me to throw away these bottles." Patty says, "Do both." I feel bad for him and offer, "I'll help." Kwang Ha doesn't want my assistance, but his standard operating procedure is to ignore me completely, and I'm okay with that. Now he grabs the heavy bag and heads to the door. I follow. We are both in the hallway, and he's lugging the bag of bottles. He should leave them if he's going to go up on the roof, but he doesn't. I don't say anything because he's older and can't stand me, and also because I rarely talk now. He's only here cleaning up Dell's because of me and my problems. There's a stairwell at the end of the corridor, and a sign indicates that it leads to the roof. I wish that Kang Hwa would put down the bag of bottles. I think he's trying to prove something to me, like maybe that the big bag isn't too heavy for him, but I know that it is. I've lifted more things today than I have in the last 6 months. Kwang Ha goes right up the narrow steps. There is a door at the top with a sign that says, "Roof access for maintenance workers only." I don't think we qualify, but Kwang Ha just pushes the door open anyway. The sun is sinking, but outside it is still bright. There are 10 skylights and 10 dirty old tarps. So Dell isn't the only one with interior shades of gray. I can see that Kwang Ha is confused. I point to the left side of the building. Over there, the third one is his living room. He isn't going to argue with me because after over a month of living together, he knows I really only talk to state facts. Kwang Ha still has the garbage bag as he moves across the hot roof. Again, I follow him. I'm not sure why. I'm his little kid shadow, and I can see that I am only making everything worse. There are bricks that hold down the corners of the tarps, and when we reach what is Dell's unit, I lift one. Kwang Ha then bends over and with his free hand pulls on the dirty piece of canvas, but the trash bag slips from his other hand and the bottles spill out and one crashes right at his feet. Green glass shards go flying, and several pieces land on the clear plastic of the newly uncovered skylight. The old me would have screamed from the crash. The new me expects these kinds of things. The new me is actually surprised that they weren't cut up from the airborne shards. Kwang Ha was angry before. Now he's really angry. He starts to pick up the broken glass. I move quickly to help. Standing over the skylight, I see that 3 glass pieces have caught the sun. They send small spots of color down into the room below. I glance over at Kwang Ha. He sees it too. I say, "It's like a stained glass window." Kwang Ha is silent, but he takes a beer bottle and breaks it. He then positions a piece of amber glass on the surface. A chunk of orange-brown light now hits the carpet below in Dell's place. We exchange looks. We don't say anything. And then we go to work covering the entire skylight. We end up breaking all of the bottles to get enough glass. I find this to be strangely enjoyable. I can tell Kwang Ha feels the same way, even though he is silent while we smash what appears to be the result of a real drinking problem. When we finally finish, we go downstairs. Kwang Ha opens the apartment door, and we both can see right away that the room has taken on a totally different quality. The light, chunks of green and amber filtered down from above. What was an ordinary and soulless feature is suddenly interesting. We're standing there staring up at what we have done when Patty comes in. I don't want her to be mad, especially at Kwang Ha. I say, "It's temporary." I'm surprised when Patty only says, "Kwang Ha, you can arrange the furniture if you have a better idea how it should go." I'm not surprised when he does. Kwang Ha puts everything in a different place, setting the couch and the chairs on an angle. He doesn't follow the lines of the rectangle room. He makes his own shapes. And when he's done, I want to say, there is a qualitative difference in the visual effects of the room. But instead I say, the room looks better. Kwang Ha just shrugs, but I can see he's not scowling anymore. This is the first thing we've ever done together, and I realize that it feels strange for both of us. I'm forced to admit that being in a room with a teenage boy who appreciates the effect of shattered glass slices of color makes me feel better about the world.